Alright, so you can tell that I've been really excited about Arcade for a good amount of time now. Like, this character is just insanely cool. Like, whether it was like the motion comic or like his animations, which you'll see soon, obviously. Well, you saw it in the intro, but like, this man is just such a cool character, and I wasn't excited for him because of like his abilities, right? Like, I'll be honest, he's nothing too like crazy, right, on attack especially, but he's just a really cool character. Like, abilities wise, like what he does in like the game, it's also very unique as well. Like, when you play this character, you're gonna be thinking like, I have never experienced anything like Arcade, which is really cool. And honestly, 2024 has just kind of been that for characters. Like, you have Spider-Punk, who has the rhythm game, you have Silver Sable with like the Sable Mines, you have Arcade with the booby traps and everything. It's just like some really cool things in 2024. Now, are the characters like top tier or anything? The ones that I mentioned, not really, but they're still really fun to play. And like, in 2024, we have our meta characters, right? Like, we have our god tier characters. I feel like we can dive into fun a bit more in like the coming months and everything. So yeah, that's why Arcade, I don't know, like, his reception won't be good, I can already predict, but I am still excited for him because one, he's carrying the saga, which is really nice, and two, like I said, he is just incredibly fun. So here's rank 4. It's quite expensive still to rank up 6-star characters, and you know, there's a debate that like you just shouldn't rank any more 6 stars anymore, but I don't care about that because I like having fun, and these characters, these fun characters especially that are brand new, it's hard to get their 7-star version, but the 6-star version you get guaranteed if you spend $100, which is not a good idea. Let me just make that clear. But yeah, here is rank 4 level 55, and then here is a rank 5 Arcade after I buy the tier 5 tech catalyst. So yeah, there's rank 5 Arcade. He's a champion that like really wants to be ascended, or like really wants to be rank 2 or 3 as a 7-star, because he wants all the damage bump that he can get, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about very soon. But he's still cool. I still like him. I still like him a ton. He's still like something that I've never really played with before, like when it comes to playstyle and everything. And you know, you can say that about like every character, but no, this guy is like really unique especially. But here is level 65, and he will not be ascended today because I don't have any dust. But there's the awakened ability at Sig 20. So here you get a steadfast buff, but it's pretty short, and the torment doesn't have too much potency on it, but once you give him a lot of signature stones, both those things really increase big time, and it's pretty important for defense because he needs that steadfast to counter meta champions like Hulkling, for example. So yeah, Arcade, he is a defender. I'll just preface all this gameplay by saying that he is a defender, but he still does some pretty cool things on attack. So what is going on here? Let's just walk you through the first fight right here. Here I'm going to drop a heavy attack, right? And this places a poisonous cloud. So whenever Wolverine steps into the cloud, he gets tormented, and he gets a poison on him every like 1 second. So you want to use this to build up your Arcade tokens, and these increase your DOT debuff potency, and it also lets you auto block as a safety net. So it's pretty important to get up, but you do get it up pretty fast once you're like in the zone, and I'll show you what that is in just a second here. So Wolverine here drops the SP2. Now I go for a heavy attack into this booby trap that was placed at the start of the fight, and now look at this. He's going to drop the SP1, he goes back into the trap, I do a light ending combo so I can get my special 3 disabled, and then I drop the SP2, and now it's just a ton of debuffs all at once. Here I drop the SP1, we get that going, and yeah, the damage output is pretty nice now. Like, the debuffs are stacking up, he is doing a lot of damage when it comes to like DOT, and the poisons are just melting Wolverine right now, and yeah, this just does it. So that was honestly pretty good. That was a pretty good fight, and yeah, that was like what, a minute something, which isn't bad in the slightest for a defender. Now we have X23 here, just pretty much the same fight, like same character too, besides the X23 part, but yeah, same rotation and everything. I don't really think that the rotation alters that much. except for some scenarios. Like, for example, if the opponent is like Incinerate and Bleed immune, then you can go for the SP1 only to just spam that Poison Cloud and get all your poisons up like quicker, because yeah, if they're Bleed and Incinerate immune, the SP2 is pretty much worthless. And that's like one thing about Arcade that's kind of cool, but can be a downside as well. Like, he has a lot of different debuffs, right? He has Poison, he has Incinerate, he has Bleed, he has Shock, he has all of them, right? And this is cool because if someone's immune to one of them, you still have the other 3 to fall back on. However, I like having all 4 of them up at once, so like if someone's immune to one of them, it's just kind of annoying, to be honest. So like, you can look at it 2 different ways, like the good way or the bad way, but I think it's kind of just 50-50. There I get an auto block, which is pretty cool because yeah, he is a very, very safe champion, since his Arcade tokens also give him some armor rating as well. So yeah, he is a pretty tanky character. He has a good health pool as well. He is, for a defender, like just good stat-wise. And now we have the pre-fights. So what the pre-fights do is they can like enhance his abilities, but if I'm being honest, they're mainly for defense. Like, one of them is he gains increased ability accuracy on like his effects, so like the auto block and everything, so like that's mainly for defense. But it's also kind of good for Domino, but also kind of not, because he still doesn't counter her fully. He also gets this ability where like he reduces true sense and like all the true abilities by 100% as well, which is mainly for defense for obvious reasons. And then he has this one which is honestly good for attack, where he can make sure that his debuffs cannot get their duration reduced. So like, kind of like Gladiator, which I think is really, really good. So like, that one's mainly for attack, but the other 2 are kind of just there. However, they're all pretty good because what they each do is they give him 1 immunity. So like, for example, if you use, let's say, the first and second pre-fight, you get, I think, Incinerate and Poison immunity, and if you want to like mix and match, you can. So he can have like up to 2 immunities, since you can't have all of them up at once. You have to pick 2 of them like at max tokens, but they're like all really useful. And like right here, for example, this is Freezer Burn, so I put on the Incinerate pre-fight and now I'm immune to it. So yeah, it's honestly really, really good. There is one downside. If you're fighting a cosmic character, you're not immune to anything, which is, I guess, like, it's like kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Here though, he drops CSP2, yeah, that was the SP2, right? Honestly, Daredevil has like the same animations for both of them, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, this fight is now over, and it was honestly not too bad either. Like, a pretty good time, and just a very safe fight, obviously, because Arcade is fully immune to Incinerate situationally. But now we have this Acid Wash fight, and I think Arcade's best use is poison application. This man has poison out the wazoo. Like, he really just has it like all the time, essentially. Like, watch this. I can drop a heavy attack right now, and then he gets poisoned like a second after. It's like nice. It's a really easy way to like access poison. So yeah, right there, he's poisoned, and that's it. Acid Wash is now dealt with, and once we get like the first poison up, it's kind of just like a permanent thing. Like, once you get the first poison up, they kind of just stay there. And like, here I drop a heavy attack, and here comes more poisons, and yeah, now with poison vulnerability, we're doing extra damage, and this is gonna be a very, very nice SP2. So here I drop it, and then we burn him, which is crazy, and then we get the buzzsaws, which is like even crazier. Like, his animations are crazy. Like, he has a buzzsaw, he has the flamethrower, he has that shock stick, whatever you want to call it, and the damage output now is like really, really good, obviously. But yeah, I think the animations are easily the best in the game. Like, no one really comes close. I'm sorry, but it's just like the truth. Like, this man has a flamethrower, he has the like boxing glove thing like on the SP3, he has like a gooey thing on the SP1. He really just he has everything, which is crazy. Like, this man is one of the most unique characters I've ever seen in like any game, to be honest. And people might call him like, you know, an alternate Joker, but I think this guy's cooler because like he works in a weird way. So he can only like function in this place called Murder World, right? And like, it's his own place, you know. Like, for example, like Professor X, he goes into like that mind space, right? and that's how you fight Professor X. And with Arcade, it's like, okay, he has to be in Murder World to like actually do stuff. So I think that's really cool. It's a nice take on a character that like usually could do all this stuff in the real world, but like he needs to be in a certain place to do it all. But yeah, I just like this character. I just think he's really cool. And here we get the Poison Cloud up, and this fight should be over pretty soon. And yeah, it just is. Here I drop the heavy attack, and we have a winner, as Arcade says. That's also really cool. Like his what are they? The callouts, they're very sweet. But now we have, let's see what we have here. We have this Red Guardian fight. Now this is, what is it? Never Back Down. And this is basically like whenever you dash back twice, they gain a regen. However, with Arcade here, he doesn't have heal block, but he has so many poisons to where like they pretty much just shut down anything. Like they shut down any poison or like any healing, sorry. And yeah, it's pretty good. But that's one utility piece as well. He has so many debuffs. Like he has, I can't even count how many. Let's see. There's like 4 incinerates, there's like 3 bleeds, 3 shocks, there's up to 10 poisons. That's already like 20 debuffs, and that's insane. Plus the torments as well. So yeah, this man is just stacking up the debuffs. Here I drop an SP2, here he drops the SP2, and now we're just in the loop. And once you're in the loop, there is just no leaving it, because you are just trapping the opponent in the corner and they can't do anything about it, because once they're like in the booby trap, they also have an increased chance to drop their special attacks. So like they just stay in the loop, and it's really, really cool. Here he drops the SP2 because he is more tempted to, I guess, is like how I'd put it. And yeah, he is also just heal blocked essentially right now, so that's also very sweet. We go back in here, we drop the SP2 in a second, and yeah, flamethrower, we got the buzzsaws. It's all crazy, man. There's just so much going on with Arcade. It's like really, it's not like hard to keep up with. Like he's honestly a kind of straightforward character. Just, you know, place them in the corner, get your traps going, get your poisonous cloud going, drop your special attacks, and that's it. Like you just do a lot of damage. Well, you do damage. I don't want to say he's a good DPS, because he's gotten a 50-50 in that regard, but he is really fun. He's like, the payoff is really satisfying, because you just get to spam your debuffs and you get to do decent damage. I'll say it's decent. Like for a rank 5 unascended character, it's not bad in the slightest. I've seen worse damage, even from characters this year. So yeah, that's how I'd put it. But yeah, here we have this Jubilee fight. She will drop the special attack because she's more tempted to, and it's crazy because like it's not a taunt, it's just like a temptation. Like they're more tempted to do it. It's kind of like Kate Bishop's ability, but you know, yeah, it's like the exact same actually. But here she drops the SP1. Here I go in and I activate my SP2, get the flamethrower going, get the bleeds going. Man, that animation is top tier. Like I think it's the coolest SP2. His SP1 is probably the coolest SP1. His SP3 is also pretty cool. So yeah, this man just has, he has everything, and I think that he is a good character to carry a saga, because I don't think that any champion in this summer is going to surpass him when it comes to just, what do I call it? Just like when it comes to, I guess, style, right? Because like this man, he really is just like miles above most characters when it comes to just like animations and stuff. But yeah, here I drop the heavy attack, and this fight is now over. So very, very cool stuff. We have a winner, and it is Arcade. So yeah, Arcade is a pretty fun attacker. He's mainly for defense with like the auto block and like the debuffs and everything, but yeah, I think he's a really cool character. I'm excited for this Arcade saga, because yeah, if like this is the first champion, I'm honestly pretty pumped, because these animations are just beyond top tier. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Arcade, and yeah, that's about it for me.